any moment now.
It looks like the Terran at the same time. Sjow, hold that thought. Counterattack
There he
here.
goes. A ton of units. Sjow spread way too thin. A ton of siege tanks on the other side, just going nowhere. The Mutaslings and Banes taking out some Thors, and JulyZerg looking like he's doing a lot of damage, but Sjow actually may end up holding this.
Sjow does hold. Meanwhile, JulyZerg continuing to reproduce more and more Zerglings, 20 more Zerglings on the way. This location has more than enough drones right now. JulyZerg's economy doing quite well right now. But Sjow might want to counterattack if he can pull it off. If there's not, hold that thought.
A lot of mutas coming in here and taking a ton of damage chases. There are turrets all over the place, and he does not want to lose too many mutas because Sjow has still a pretty reasonable economy. He's going to take another base, and these mutas really not doing the type of damage that JulyZerg wants.
Meanwhile, JulyZerg rallying more units down here. Now, check out the supplies here. It's 120 against, or almost 130 against 150. That is not a big distance, considering when JulyZerg was maxed out and Sjow was at about 130. But as I say that, JulyZerg continues to grow his army size. Hold that thought. Expansion over here. Meanwhile, Zerglings attacking everywhere. This is what's so difficult about fighting against JulyZerg, is he can tax you endlessly at this point in time, and Sjow's going to have to hang on for the ride.
And he moves those mutas in. Some get caught on the command center, but he will clean up these Marines and then those siege tanks. JulyZerg just eking through right there and keeping his supply up on the top. 143 to 103.
A planetary is on the way. JulyZerg needs to destroy this planetary before it finishes. It doesn't look like he can. Instead, he opts to counterattack over here to a place perhaps less defended.
And this non-stop aggression of JulyZerg. Sjow is having a real difficult time with the Tasis. A ton of Zerglings. Look, they're going to pile into the main base. Only one siege tank there to defend.
Now, Sjow is going to have to move some of his forces over here. He's getting spread a little bit too thin. JulyZerg may opt to then attack the planetary later on.
You know, even though Sjow's army is still pretty good.
Oh my God, he lost that.
Well, he has almost no SCVs anyways, Tasteless. Only 19 SCVs against the 71 drones of JulyZerg, and it looks like this never-ending assault is going to bring Sjow to an end.
Yeah, this is the difficult part about facing July. It's so hard to defend and focus and concentrate for this amount of time. I'm really impressed with JulyZerg's play here. It's just like what we see at the GSL.
And the Marines being taken out. More Marines coming in. Has to run away with those mutas, but again, more and more Zerglings on the way.
And streaming in here, he has more mutas coming in, wiping out the rest of these Marines. And, you know, this is just such a difficult thing for Sjow to deal with. This expansion is really Sjow's only hope. He does have a Thor and a Planetary Fortress. Those really complement each other.
Yes, they quite do, Tasteless.
But it looks like he may actually gear up for everything to attack that location there soon as well.
You know, Sjow, if he hadn't lost so many SCVs, if he hadn't lost that natural orbital, he would still be in okay shape here. You know, he's being pretty cost-effective overall. JulyZerg is just non-stop attacking, losing a ton of expensive mutas all game. Sjow, can he actually make a comeback? He still has a good amount of supply. He's producing 3 SCVs at a time, but JulyZerg just never-ending rallies of Zerglings, Banelings, and mutas all over the map.
You know, in one way, at least he doesn't have to try to defend this location. Less significant buildings are now down there instead of just the orbital. It looks like Sjow has enough siege tanks. He's going to try to gear up and perhaps push JulyZerg out of this rally point location that he has set up here. He needs to siege up though in time. JulyZerg, I think, a little bit caught off guard by seeing this army here.
And those Thors were both in the red, so they go out ever so quickly, and JulyZerg just cleaning up. Sjow's only chance there was to turtle a little bit longer, but JulyZerg is going to go ahead and eliminate this army. That's going to bring Sjow down to just 68 supply against 144. You know, that was actually a crucial mistake from Sjow. July never turns off the aggression once he starts like that. So Sjow's best chance was to just defend, and get some upgrades.
Well, there's such a sparse number of SCVs here left in this, and an even smaller number of actually defending units. The only other thing Sjow has is 17 Marines. That's literally it. And that is probably going to be GG here, as the Zerg can now occupy the production facilities and wipe out any fragile Terran unit that pops out. GG.
JulyZerg with yet another victory, taking out the Swedish superstar Sjow.
Give it up for JulyZerg. He managed to make a comeback there after losing that first game, and what was pretty impressive from Sjow. He is still the king right now. That guy's pretty good.
He's a god of war, man. When he starts attacking, you have to defend. You have to defend so badly, Tasteless.
It's pretty scary.
And by badly, I mean goodly.
I feel like I'm in like a war film when I see that that action pick up, because it goes on for what feels like hours of just him hammering away, and I can't emphasize enough how difficult that is to stop in StarCraft when you're playing against somebody who's that talented.
You know, Sjow almost stabilized. We have to hand it to him. He was actually defending really well there for a while, and it's very hard because there are units everywhere. Siege tanks and Thors, not the most mobile units. Your Marines get too far away, then suddenly they get sniped. JulyZerg really knows how to pick apart armies. So Sjow almost did it, man. He really, truly almost did. If he had sat all those units around the planetary for a while, gotten some more units, repaired everything, got some more upgrades, I don't know if JulyZerg would have actually ended up winning that game. That was actually, I think, a lot closer than it looked.
It was a very good game. I'm really impressed. All right, that does it, guys. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be back with an interview with JulyZerg, so don't go too far away here at the MLG.